Everything in life follows certain laws. Apples fall down, not up. Birds fly in the sky. We are born, we live, and then one day we all pass away. When we learn about these laws, we can use them to do amazing things. Just like understanding that we can't fly, but we can build airplanes to fly. Or knowing that life doesn't last forever, so we should make the most of it. Long ago, the smartest people tried to understand these laws of life. They wanted to know how everything worked so they could be happier, find more meaning in life, and feel like they were in control. Nowadays, we find these ideas in books about becoming better people and living a good life. But a long time ago, talking about these ideas was dangerous, and people had to share them quietly and carefully. Thanks to people who worked hard to keep these ideas safe, we can learn about them today. These old ideas helped start the Italian Renaissance, inspired people who fought for freedom in America, and are still part of what we read and learn about how to live well today. This old way of thinking and learning about life is called Hermeticism. It's like a treasure from the past that still helps us understand the world and our place in it. So what is Hermeticism? Hermeticism is an ancient spiritual and philosophical tradition rooted in a collection of texts known as the Corpus Hermetica. These texts are believed to be written by Hermes Trismegistus, a legendary figure who is said to have possessed profound spiritual wisdom. The core of Hermeticism lies in Gnosticism, a term encompassing various mystical philosophies and religious ideas that emerged in the early Christian era. The Corpus Hermetica itself is a series of writings, framed as teachings from Hermes Trismegistus to his disciple. These texts delve into various aspects of divine, cosmic, and human existence, discussing the nature of the universe, the role of the gods, and the path to spiritual enlightenment. These writings were nearly lost to Western civilization after the fall of the Roman Empire, but were preserved in Byzantine libraries. Their rediscovery in the 15th century, especially their translation into Latin under the patronage of Cosimo de' Medici, played a pivotal role in the cultural and intellectual reawakening of the Italian Renaissance. The Hermetic texts influenced many thinkers of the time, contributing significantly to the era's artistic, philosophical, and scientific advancements. Later, the principles of Hermeticism found new life through the Freemasons and were influential in the ideological underpinnings of the American Revolution. Hermeticism, with its rich blend of mystical, philosophical, and spiritual insights, has continued to influence various esoteric traditions and philosophical schools throughout history. So here are the 7 Hermetic principles for self-mastery. The principle of mentalism. This principle is a key concept in Hermeticism, revolves around the idea that the universe, at its core, is a manifestation of the mind. This principle suggests that everything we experience in the physical world, all matter, energy, and phenomena, are ultimately expressions of an infinite, universal consciousness. It posits that the universe is akin to a vast, intelligent field, where every aspect is interconnected through this shared mental existence. Understanding the principle of mentalism means recognizing that energy, power, and matter are all rooted in this mental realm. It reflects the idea that our thoughts and actions are not isolated, but part of a larger universal mind. By grasping this principle, we begin to see how our thoughts interact and shape our reality, opening up a deeper comprehension of the universe's mental nature. This principle provides a framework for understanding the other Hermetic principles, such as the principle of polarity. For instance, by applying the principle of mentalism, we see how emotions like love and hate aren't opposites, but varying degrees of the same force. Our minds have the power to shift these emotions along the spectrum through conscious thought and choice. Hermeticism describes various planes of existence, often depicted as layers in a concentric circle. The 3 main planes are the mental, physical, and spiritual, each having lesser planes between them, ranging from pure matter to pure spirit. These planes are interconnected, with the inner, that is mental plane, influencing the outer ones. From our perspective, we experience the mental plane through thought, intuition, and reason. However, the wisdom of Hermeticism suggests that our thoughts extend beyond the physical plane, impacting the energetic and spiritual levels in less apparent but significant ways. This understanding allows individuals to use their mental faculties to leverage other laws of the universe, treating thought as an operating system to interact with different layers of existence. By mastering the principle of mentalism, we can harness these laws to our advantage, influencing our reality in profound ways. This principle empowers us to achieve feats that seem impossible, like David defeating Goliath, humanity reaching the moon, and understanding and influencing the phenomena of the universe through reasoned thought. The principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. As within, so without. As without, so within. This principle highlights the idea that the patterns, laws, and phenomena we observe in one realm of existence are reflected in others. It suggests a kind of mirror-like symmetry between the various levels of the universe, from the smallest particles to the biggest cosmic structures. Understanding the principle of correspondence allows us to solve mysteries and problems by examining the parallels between different layers of reality. For instance, a challenge we face in our personal lives might have its echo in a larger societal issue, and the solution to one could illuminate the solution to the other. This principle also implies that while there are dimensions of existence beyond our immediate perception, realms we cannot see or hear in our ordinary states of consciousness, we can infer their nature by studying the patterns that are accessible to us. Just like understanding basic geometry helps us grasp the structure of the cosmos, observing the patterns and relationships in the world we know can guide us in understanding the unseen. The principle of correspondence bridges the gap between the macrocosm and the microcosm. It suggests that by studying the universe, we learn about ourselves, and by understanding ourselves, we gain insights into the universe. This mutual reflection means that the pursuit of knowledge, or gnosis, about the world around us is also a journey of self-discovery. By exploring both the inner and outer worlds, we gain a deeper understanding of the whole, recognizing that the vast and the minute are interconnected and reflective of each other. The principle of vibration. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. This principle asserts that everything in the universe, from the smallest particle to the vastest galaxy, is in constant motion and vibration. This principle illustrates that all forms of existence, including matter, energy, and spirit, are distinguished by their vibrational frequency. An everyday example of this is music, where the 7 octaves of sound, when raised by 44 octaves, transform into the spectrum of visible light. This transformation passes through various states, from the buzzing of insects to ultrasound, plasma, and even heat, yet retains a fundamental correspondence in terms of vibrational frequency. At extremely high rates of vibration, things may appear still, similar to how a fast-spinning wheel seems motionless. Conversely, at very low levels of vibration, objects appear to be completely at rest. In reality, there exists an infinite range of vibrations, each with its unique characteristics and phenomena. Hermeticists extend this principle to the realm of thoughts, suggesting that thoughts too have their specific vibrational frequencies. They believe that by mastering these frequencies, much like tuning an instrument, one can achieve control over themselves and their environment. This mastery over vibration, frequency, harmony, and resonance is seen as a pathway to greater self-awareness and influence over one's surroundings. The understanding and application of this principle can empower individuals to shape their reality, aligning their personal vibrations with desired outcomes and states of being. The principle of polarity. This principle is founded on the idea that everything in the universe has a dual nature. It states that everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. It emphasizes that what appear to be opposites are actually 2 extremes of the same thing, with the only difference being their degree. An example to illustrate this principle is the concept of temperature with hot and cold. Both are aspects of temperature but differ only in their degree. There is no definitive point where hot becomes cold. Instead, they exist on a continuum. This principle applies to various aspects of life and existence, including light and darkness, hard and soft, big and small, and even emotions like love and hate. In all these cases, the opposites are not separate entities, but different expressions of the same aspect. For Hermeticists, the significance of the principle of polarity lies in the understanding that by recognizing these dualities as different aspects of the same thing, we can consciously shift our perception and experience of them. This means we have the power to change the polarity of our emotions or experiences by choosing which degree or aspect we wish to focus on or embody. This principle leads to the practice of mental alchemy, the art of transforming one's state of mind or emotional experience. Just as one might involuntarily swing from love to hate or like to dislike through the conscious application of willpower, it's possible to navigate these transitions deliberately for personal growth and improvement. Understanding the principle of polarity enables individuals to see beyond the apparent duality and paradoxes of life, recognizing that these opposites are merely different expressions of the same underlying reality. The principle of rhythm. This principle highlights the constant motion and cyclical nature of the universe. It is expressed in the saying, "Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall." This principle emphasizes that in every aspect of life, there is a rhythmic motion that swings like a pendulum, manifesting in the cycles of life and death, creation and destruction, and the fluctuating states of the human mind. According to this principle, nothing in the universe is static. Everything is subject to change and movement, oscillating between different states. The swing of the pendulum to one side, for example, happiness, growth, expansion, will be matched by its swing to the other side, for example, sadness, decline, contraction. However, understanding this rhythm allows for a certain degree of mastery over it. By attuning oneself to the principle of rhythm, an individual can learn to anticipate and work with these natural cycles rather than being passively controlled by them. For example, in times of great joy or success, one can prepare for the eventual swing towards less favorable times, and during difficult periods, one can take solace in knowing that the pendulum will eventually swing back towards positivity and growth. This principle also offers a strategy for maintaining balance. By recognizing when you're at a high point or a low, you can consciously create transition periods to prevent abrupt changes, effectively softening the impact of the pendulum's swing. This understanding can help in managing one's mental, physical, and emotional well-being. Furthermore, the principle of rhythm teaches that loss and gain are part of life's ups and downs. What we lose may return in another form, and what we have now may not be permanent. By embracing this fluidity, one can move through life with greater ease, adapting to change rather than resisting it. Those who master this principle do not eliminate the rhythmic cycles, but learn to rise above their most extreme fluctuations. Through heightened awareness and willful engagement with the principle of rhythm, one can achieve a state of equilibrium, acting purposefully, rather than reacting impulsively to life's inevitable ups and downs. This mastery is a key aspect of self-mastery and personal growth. The principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. This principle asserts that nothing in the universe occurs by chance or without a reason. Instead, every event or situation is the result of some preceding cause, and in turn becomes the cause of subsequent effects. This principle aligns with the idea of the principle of correspondence, indicating that higher planes of existence influence the lower ones, but nothing escapes the law of cause and effect. It essentially negates the notion of randomness, suggesting that what we perceive as chance is simply an effect whose cause we do not recognize. One of the empowering aspects of understanding this principle is realizing that you can be the initiator of causes, not merely a recipient of effects. This means actively choosing to create the circumstances you desire, rather than passively responding to what happens around you. For instance, if you aspire to be a better writer, you become the cause by writing and reading daily, thus setting in motion the effect of improved skills and knowledge. Being in harmony with the principle of cause and effect involves recognizing when you are merely reacting to situations, that is, being an effect, versus when you are actively creating your desired outcomes, that is, being a cause. When you find yourself feeling reactive or stressed, it indicates a misalignment with this principle. Conversely, consciously determining and pursuing what you desire exemplifies being in alignment with it. Even as you strive for self-mastery and control over your own life, it's important to acknowledge that there are higher planes of causation that you must operate within. However, with awareness and understanding of the principle of cause and effect, you can exercise control and influence within your realm. This principle empowers you to shift from a passive role to an active one, where you are not a victim of circumstances, but a creator of your destiny. By understanding and applying this principle, you transform from being subject to the whims of external forces to a conscious architect of your life's journey. The principle of gender. This principle encapsulates the idea that gender exists in everything and manifests across all planes of existence: physical, mental, and spiritual. This principle does not refer solely to biological sex, but to the broader concept of masculine and feminine energies inherent in all aspects of life and creation. This principle holds that the masculine and feminine principles are present in all things and are essential for generation, creation, and regeneration. The masculine principle is characterized as active, assertive, and explorative. It's the force that initiates and drives forward. On the other hand, the feminine principle is receptive, nurturing, and preserving. It's the energy that sustains and gives value to existence. An imbalance in these energies can lead to disharmony. Excessive masculine energy without the balancing feminine aspect can result in uncontrolled expansion or progress without regard for its impact. Conversely, an overabundance of feminine energy without the counterbalance of the masculine might lead to stagnation, where progress is hindered by an excessive focus on preservation and the present. In human beings, these principles are present regardless of gender. Men possess feminine energy, and women possess masculine energy. The interplay of these energies can be observed in sexual relationships, but also in individual behaviors, attitudes, and personal growth. The application of the principle of gender goes beyond the physical plane and is crucial for mental and spiritual creation and regeneration. By balancing the masculine and feminine energies within oneself, individuals can achieve a harmonious state, conducive to personal growth and effective interaction with the world. This principle encourages self-reflection and balance. It asks people to think about how in tune they are with their present, feminine energy, and future goals, masculine energy, the sacrifices they have made for success, how they protect and honor their priorities, how far they have gone from their roots to pursue their desires, and how they find the balance between giving and receiving. Striving for a middle path that harmonizes the masculine and feminine aspects is key to employing all 7 Hermetic principles effectively. This balance is crucial for achieving self-mastery and ensuring that one's journey through life remains centered and aligned with both internal and external harmonies. Each of these principles exists in nature and applies directly to our mental, emotional, and spiritual states. Please let me know if you would like a more detailed and in-depth application of each principle in the next video. If you found this video valuable, please share it with someone who may need it. I wish you a beautiful and productive day.